Hey everyone, before we start this video, I wanted to tell you about this cool product from Temu that they sent me. It's an oil-free air compressor, and it's a really affordable tool to have in your garage or shop. Now the packaging on this was very simple. It was very simple to take out of the box, kind of put together. The instructions weren't the most clear, but it was pretty straightforward. So once you have it all together, it just plugs in and you're ready to go. Now you will need some sort of air line or air tool. It doesn't come with anything like that, but in my short testing so far, it's worked really well. And it's a great small and quiet air compressor for small jobs like filling up tires or just blowing out dirt. This is called the VEVOR oil-free air compressor, and it boasts being pretty quiet compared to like a normal air compressor. And as you can see, this is decent volume, so I could have a conversation with somebody and not really be having to shout. And could be used for a nail gun or air tools or things like that where they don't need as much air. This boasts high flow supply, it's oil-free, it's supposed to be low noise, I believe under 70 decibels, and the construction seems pretty sturdy as well. So if you want to grab one of these, they are a nice cheap way to get started. If maybe you want to step up to something a little more powerful and portable, but you're not ready to get a huge one that makes a ton of noise. Well, this is a good option, and right now if you download the Temu app and use the link in the description below this video, you can get $100 coupon bundle for free. There's a ton of stuff on Temu, especially automotive accessories, so you can check those out. And you can use my code that appears on the screen to claim those $100 in deals. For new users, you can get this air compressor for only $99.82. The regular price is about $121 on Temu. It is a lot cheaper than everywhere else I've seen this sold, including the VEVOR websites. This is going to come in handy for most of my vehicles, like filling up tires, blowing out dirt, and using air tools. Thanks to Temu for reaching out and providing me with this to review and use. All right, now to the video. Welcome to Marty Motoring. I'm just here sitting in the shop that I rent, and I realized that I haven't made a video in a few weeks. So I wanted to make this to update everybody on kind of what's going on, why I sold the LS460, what this is about, and say thank you for 50,000 subscribers. That is a milestone I didn't think I would reach. That's a lot of people watching and subscribing to my videos. My channel has over 8.5 million views over the last 7 years. And over 50,000 subscribers. So thank you for making that possible. Unfortunately, 50,000 subscribers doesn't equate to the success of the channel. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not doing this full time. Over the last 7 years, I've made a little bit of money doing this, but it's not anything like you would think where I can buy a Lamborghini and do giveaways. I don't think that's ever gonna happen, but I am thankful for 50,000 subscribers for a small channel that's just me and self-funded. And I want to say thank you to all the brands I've worked with in the past that have kind of helped this channel, that have either sent me something to review or anything like that. I've collected things over the years, and now I have the tools, and I'm always learning and trying to do everything on a budget. That's always been my philosophy. You don't have to spend a lot to learn things and work on cars. Great example, this welder, I'm learning how to weld. It actually came with the Ranger. The guy was selling his whole shop. I have a toolbox, a couple more tools and fluids and paints and all kinds of stuff that came with this, and it needed some work. So I've been putting the time in, kind of selling some stuff I don't need and condensing and reorganizing the shop. So that's what I've been up to the last month, hitting 50,000 subscribers. I sold my LS460, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And then we've been working on the Ranger. Now I did 2 update videos on this, and they didn't get a lot of views, but that's okay because this is a hobby and I enjoy doing it. So I'll update you on this later in the video and kind of tell you why I got it. Now I did replace my Sequoia that I sold earlier this year. That was a great vehicle. I actually really liked the Sequoia. I sold it in May. It was great, not great gas mileage, but I did miss driving manual a little bit, and this just so happens to be rear-wheel drive and manual. And it's a 4-cylinder, ton of mileage, but it's super useful. You can see I have a bunch of trash in the back of it. So I've been doing a lot of home renovation stuff, like trash runs. It's really come in handy for that. I am actually in the process of getting my motorcycle permit and hopefully license, so I can fit a motorcycle in the bed. That's kind of the plan. Bring that around, maybe do some cruises. I just want to do a lot more than I've done. I really stuck with the Lexus sedans for a long time and I really like them. I think it's just nice to broaden my horizons also. So this is my first Ford ever. I'm currently driving a lease, Hyundai Ioniq 6, and that's all-wheel drive, and that's my business lease for my business that I started full-time. I do videography. So this year has had a lot of changes, but I'm happy to still be doing this as a side hobby. A lot has changed, and that kind of leads me into why I got rid of the LS460. So we're here in my shop space. This is a 33 by 20, something like that. It's an old warehouse, and this is where I brought all my stuff. It's kind of nice to keep it separate from my house, although it would be a lot more convenient if it was at my house. I just don't really have the room. So I moved into this shop about a year ago, I want to say, and a couple cars here, worked on stuff. One of the biggest repairs that was done here, if you've seen the series, was my LS460. That car was a lot of work. I had that here from November of 2023 to July of 2024. I recently sold it at the beginning of September. The reason I sold it, if you saw any of the videos, was it just didn't fit my purposes anymore. I did end up starting a business this year, and just having an extra payment, especially something I couldn't really use for tax purposes. I have a lease, so I can kind of write off the mileage I use for business, but the Lexus was like this in-between personal / fun car / if something broke, I didn't really want to fix it again, especially after doing all the injectors and everything like that. It kind of took the fun out of the car. I drove it around probably 1,000 miles, yeah, over 1,000 miles actually, after the repair, and everything was great. It was just time to let that go and save some money on insurance and gas and bills. It was just really hard to keep that car and spend $80 to fill it up, even though it's beautiful and amazing and comfortable as it was, when I knew it might need another repair down the road in the future that I just really wouldn't be willing to do after just all the time and work I had into it. And it also didn't make sense to spend all that much on gas. I have the EV, the Hyundai Ioniq 6. That's a lease. I'm spending $10 to charge that, and it goes almost 300 miles most times. And it's a business lease, so that's kind of the car I've been driving, and I really like it. It's quick, it's quiet, it's smooth. It's not a Lexus, but it does the job for now. I also wanted to get rid of the Lexus because I wanted to use some of the money I had on hand, which wasn't a lot from selling the Sequoia, to get a small pickup truck. We kept running into that as homeowners, that we needed a pickup truck to just move stuff around. There's bikes. I wanted to get a motorcycle. There's just so many things in the future that I'd like to do that required some sort of pickup truck that would just make my life easier rather than getting a utility trailer or getting 13 miles per gallon. And the Ford Ranger was that solution, being manual, rear-wheel drive, gets like 28 miles per gallon, has a 6-foot bed, which is bigger than my Tacoma was. And it's just a good little cheap truck that, you know, if something breaks, it's my other vehicle, so it doesn't really matter. I actually have it here for some repairs. So yeah, I've just been driving the Hyundai, and I decided to sell the LS460 just because I just didn't drive it enough. And then like forcing myself to drive it to get that mileage, just, you know, I got to use this up. I did all this work on it, and it just wasn't fun after a while. And also my driveway's pretty limited in space, so 3 cars is the max I ever want to have. My fiance has an ES330 that I bought. It's a 2004 that has a ton of miles. We're gonna do a few things to that car just to make it a little bit nicer, but it's been a great commuter and it's cheap. So drop in the comments, what do you think of getting rid of the LS460? Do you wanna see some videos on the ES330? Because I think I will do an update video on that. I have some cool parts coming for it. I'll also be doing a video on the Ioniq 6 after 6 months of leasing it. Let you know what I really think about electric cars. So maybe you're saddened by the selling of the Sequoia or the LS460. And I know I usually only have cars for 9 months to a year. That's just kind of how things have been. I've gotten bored a lot, but I'm trying to just keep what I have for a while. Especially, I think this lease should help me. It's a 24-month lease, and I have to keep it or else I have to pay a bunch of money to get out of it that I don't have. So I'll be keeping the lease for a while, and I've decided to start modifying the Ranger to make it just a little bit nicer to live with. First things first was to take out all the carpet and seats and everything that was disgusting. And well, I did find some rust under here that I've been cutting out. And I have a new floor pan, so I need to weld that in. So that's gonna be fun. I do have the NRG steering wheel as shown in previous videos. Horn works, everything like that. I have a new manual shift knob and plate and everything like that, wiring up some extra speakers. This is going to be a pretty nice truck to drive, especially with the 5-speed transmission. It has a newer clutch. We do have this aux beam light bar that I had sitting here, and I think I'm going to install it in the front bumper. A bunch of KYB XLG shocks, just because these feel like they could be replaced. So that should give us a little bit better ride quality. Then I'm going to do Raptor liner in the bed. We have a lot of LED lighting, spark plugs. A lot is going on with this truck, and it's all like really cheap, easy stuff. And I did replace some of these headlights. They're kind of just like a blocked out one, and we have those last fit LED bulbs in there, so they have a good cutoff, look nice and bright. Painted this with some trim paint, got a new logo up here, and just really brings the truck together. With all that being said, that's kind of where I am. Sequoia sold, LS460 is sold, driving a lease, and working on this Ranger. And the 350 plate is now off the LS and will join the all-wheel drive wagon. That was my 05 Legacy, my rear-wheel drive Subi, that was my BRZ. We had the 4Runner, the 2014 4Runner, that ISF, 08 ISF, and the Sequoia 2005 Toyota Sequoia. So a lot of custom plates for the different cars I've had, and it's kind of sad, but kind of nice that I have them. But sorry everybody else in Pennsylvania that can't get these, because I have them. I guess I could turn them in, but since they are since they are vanity plates, I can actually use them on other vehicles. So if I ever got another Sequoia ISF, don't think I'll ever get another BRZ, but if I get another 350 Lexus RX, GS, IS, whatever, I can use that. So that's kind of nice. Well, everybody, that's kind of the update. The Ranger is in progress. The LS460 is gone, and I'll miss it. It was a really nice, comfortable car, good power, all-wheel drive. I'm just kind of closing that chapter and moving on to a new one where I focus a little bit more on other things in life and not so much on cars. This is a part-time thing, really took over my life for a while, but I just can't commit that kind of time and energy and money to it anymore. But I will always do this channel because it is my hobby. With all that said, thank you for watching. Thanks for 50,000 subscribers. If you are interested in Ranger videos, drop a comment, let me know. They're not really that interesting, but they are good little cheap trucks. A lot of people seem to like them, and this is my first Ford, so it's been an experience. Especially coming from a Toyota Lexus guy. You always kind of overpay for Toyota Lexus, but they have solid build quality. This thing's actually not too bad. It's the 4-cylinder one, so very easy to maintain. And yes, I will miss the LS460. Yes, I kind of miss the Sequoia sometimes, having a bigger SUV, but I think the setup I have now works really well. So yeah, just gonna rock this for a while, focus on a few other things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You can follow me on Instagram at Marty Motoring. And as always, keep those wheels turning.